All right, next and final slate. It is going to be in Major League Baseball. We're going to start off with the Rays taking on the Orioles. 1:05 Eastern first pitch. No line on that game, no pick. Next game I have for you, it is going to be the Royals taking on the Tigers. 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Detroit. Detroit's minus 120, totals 8.5. 63% of the consensus is leaning toward the Tigers. 64% shaded toward the over. Right now, Kansas City's plus 105 on the money line. Detroit plus 160 on the run line. We have Keller for the Royals. Turnbull for Detroit. Keller's 2-3 with a 4.07 ERA for Kansas City. Turnbull comes into this game with a 2.53 ERA for Detroit. I like the Tigers in this matchup here. Give me Detroit minus 120 and the under 8.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Braves, Marlins, 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Miami. The Braves open minus 130, total 8. We're seeing a 10-cent fade of Atlanta on the money line and movement downward on the total. We got minus 120 and 7.5. So once again, the Braves open $1.30 down to minus 120. Total open 8 down to 7.5. 68% of the consensus is leaning toward the Braves. 69% shaded toward the over. Right now, Miami's plus 105 on the money line. Atlanta plus 140 on the run line. We have Tehran for the Braves. He's coming into this game with 2 wins. We also have Lopez for the Marlins. Lopez is 2-4 with a 4.78 ERA. Miami's also dropped 6 out of their last 7 games. They rank dead last in scoring. I like Atlanta minus 120 in the over 7.5 in that game. Next matchup, Mariners, Indians. 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Cleveland. The Indians open minus 140, total at 9. We're seeing just a nickel fade of Cleveland down to 135. Once again, Cleveland opened $1.40 down to minus 135. Totals at 9. 60% are leaning Cleveland. 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, Seattle's plus 120 on the money line. Cleveland plus 160 on the run line. We have Swanson for Seattle, Anderson for the Indians. Seattle is 12-5 against the spread away from home. And of course, when I refer to the spread or ATS in Major League Baseball, I'm actually referring to the run line, the 1.5. So once again, Seattle 12-5 ATS in their games away from home this year. They're also 11-6 straight up in those 17 games. They rank 2nd in road scoring and 3rd in walks on the road as well. Now the Indians are 26th in home hits, 6-7 ATS at home. When it comes to the scoring, Cleveland is 70% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Mariners plus 1.5 and the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Athletics, Pirates, 135 Pittsburgh. Oakland opened $1.10, total at 8. Just a nickel move toward the Athletics up to 115. Once again, the A's opened $1.10 up to minus 115. Totals at 8. 56% shaded toward Oakland. 55% shaded toward the over. Right now, Pittsburgh's plus $1 on the money line. The A's plus 150 on the run line. We have Frankie Montas for the A's. Lyles for the Buccos. Lyles comes into this game 2-1 with a 2.42 ERA. Now Pittsburgh is 3-1 in their last 4. Oakland's dropped 7 out of their last 8 games. Give me Pittsburgh plus $1 in the over 8 runs. Next game, Nationals, Phils, 2:05 South Philly. The Phillies open the betting as the $1.65 favorite, total at 9. We are seeing a 10-cent fade of the Phils on the money line and movement downward on the total down to 8.5. Once again, Philadelphia opened $1.65 down to $1.55. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 68% are leaning Philadelphia, 63% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Nationals are plus 140 on the money line. Philadelphia plus $1.20 on the run line. We have Sanchez for the Nats, Eflin for the Phils. Sanchez is 0-4 with a 5.91 ERA for Washington. Now, on the Philly side of things, Eflin is 3-3 with a 3.34 ERA. Now, the Phillies are 13-7 at Citizens Bank Park this year. Washington is striking out 10.03 times per contest. I like the Phils in this one. Give me Philadelphia minus 155 in the over 8.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Mets, Brewers. 2:10 Eastern first pitch in Milwaukee. The Brewers opened $1.35, total at 9. We're seeing a 10-cent move toward the Brewers and movement upward on the total. Minus 145 and 9.5. Once again, Milwaukee opened $1.35 up to minus 145. Total open 9 up to 9.5. 70% are leaning Milwaukee. 58% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Mets are plus 130 on the money line. Milwaukee plus 140 on the run line. We have Vargas for the Mets. Davies for the Brewers. Vargas is 1-1 with a 5.76 ERA. Davies comes into this game 3-0 with a 1.38 ERA. Milwaukee is 6-3 straight up in their last 9. They rank 7th in home scoring. The Mets have dropped 7 out of their last 10. They're also just 1-6 in their last 7 away from home. And total-wise, the Mets are 75% to the over, taking on teams over 540. Of course, that is a win percentage. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Milwaukee minus 145 and the over. 9.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Red Sox. White Sox, 210, Chicago, guaranteed rate field. Boston's minus 175, totals 9.5. Porcello for the Red Sox, Covey for the White Sox. Give me Boston minus 175 and the under 9.5. Next game, Blue Jays, Rangers. Going to break this one down here very thoroughly. Once again, Blue Jays at the Rangers, 3:05 Eastern first pitch in Texas. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Toronto plus 120 and the under 11 in that game there. Next matchup, Diamondbacks Rockies, 3:10 Eastern first pitch in Colorado. Give me the Diamondbacks plus 1.5 and the over 10 runs in that game there. Next matchup, Twins Yankees, 4:05 Eastern first pitch at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees open the betting as the $1.40 favorite, total at 9. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a nickel fade of the Bronx Bombers and movement downward on the total, 135 and 8.5. So once again, New York opened $1.40 down to minus 135. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 62% are leaning Yankees, 73% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Twins are plus 120 on the money line, Yankees plus 145 on the run line. We have Pineda for the Twins, Herman for the Yankees, or German to most Americans. Pineda for the Twins is 2-2 with a 6.21 ERA for Minnesota. Now for the Yankees, Domingo Herman, or Domingo German for the Yankees, is 5-1 with a 2.56 ERA for the Bronx Bombers. Now the Yankees are 10-4 in their last 14. Minnesota ranks dead last in road runs allowed. And total-wise, the Yankees are 80% to the over in their last 10. So give me the Bronx Bombers. Give me the Yankees minus 135 and the over 8.5 in that game there. All right, this next game here, we have the Dodgers taking on the Padres, 4:10 Eastern first pitch in San Diego. The Dodgers open the betting as the $1.25 favorite, total at 8. We are seeing a 10-cent move toward the Dodgers up to 135. So once again, Los Angeles open $1.25 up to minus 135. Totals at 8. 61% are leaning Dodgers, 64% shaded toward the over. Right now, San Diego's plus 125 on the money line. Dodgers plus 125, laying the 1.5. We have Kenta Maeda for the Dodgers, Marjavicius for the Padres. Maeda's 4.41 ERA coming into this game. Marjavicius 3.23 ERA coming into this game. The Dodgers are just 6-13 against the spread away from home. Like I said, when I refer to the spread, we're talking about the run line. So once again, the Dodgers have covered just 6 out of 19 run line plays away from home this year. Horrible. They're also 21st in hits on the road. I like the Padres plus 1.5 in the under 8 runs in that game there. All right, next matchup for you. It is going to be Giants taking on the Reds. 4:10 Eastern first pitch in Cincinnati. And here's what you need to know about this game. I like the Giants plus 1.5 and the under 8 runs in it. Next game, Astros Angels. 4:10 Eastern first pitch in Mexico. The Mexico Monterrey series. Houston opened the betting as the $1.85 favorite, total at 10. Now, we didn't see a whole lot of movement on the total, but we did see a pretty massive move on the money line, up to minus 215. So once again, Houston opened $1.85 up to minus 215. Totals at 10 flat. 72% are leaning Houston, 68% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Angels are plus 195 on the money line. Houston's actually minus 140 on the run line, laying the 1.5. And here's why. We have Justin Verlander slated on the bump for the Astros, and we have Matt Harvey slated for the Angels. Now, Verlander comes into this game 4-1 with a 2.45 ERA for Houston. Harvey comes into this matchup with a 6.54 ERA for the Angels. I think he's Los Angeles' number 2 this year, by the way, which is hilarious. But anyway, the Astros are second in hits, third in runs allowed. I'm not really going to break this one down too much further. Give me Houston minus 1.5 and the under 10 runs in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Cardinals, Cubs, 7:08 Eastern first pitch at Wrigley Field. The Cubbies open the betting as the $1.35 favorite. No line on the total as of yet, and I always say it for every podcast, but any game at Wrigley Field, you're not going to get a total till about 2 hours before first pitch. So once again, the Cubs open $1.35 up to minus 140. No total as of yet. 52% are leaning St. Louis, and right now the Cards are plus 125 on the money line. Now we have Adam Wainwright for the Cards, Jose Quintana for the Cubs. Wainwright comes into this game with a 3.73 ERA for St. Louis. Now for Chicago, Quintana comes into this game with a 3-1 record for the Cubbies, throwing pretty good this year. Chicago is 9-4 straight up at home this year, and they've actually been winners in their last 6 straight. They're also second in home scoring. Now the Cards on the other side, they are striking out 10.53 times per contest on the road. So I'm going to lean toward the home favorite. Give me the Chicago Cubs minus 140, and I think they will win. Probably be a close one. I think they'll win by the final of 4-3. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, got to remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do a bunch of daily plays on that site, different memberships, a lot of good stuff there. Also free content there as well, so you can check out my current record in many different categories. So once again, check me out, patreon.com/BrockPage. Link is in the description section below. We also got our sample Brock Page production t-shirts. So if you guys like it, let me know what you think. If you think it's a cool shirt, you might be interested in purchasing it. Maybe I'll put in a purchase order and we'll start selling some. And of course, if we end up doing that, I will do my best to negotiate the lowest price, the lowest cost possible, so I can pass those savings on to you. But first, I got to have interest. I can't go ahead and place a massive order for t-shirts and have no interest. So once again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of the official Brock Page production t-shirt. I also have some other prototypes in the works. Same color, black tee, but we have hoodies, long sleeve tees, and coffee mugs. So I got a bunch of ideas going on, but I have to have interest. You guys have to let me know what you think of the design. All right, I am running out of gas here. I'm running out of voice, so I'm going to sign off here. Thank you guys for bearing with me over the past couple of days. I know I've been hanging out with celebrities and doing emceeing with them and all that good stuff, but really appreciate you guys not bailing on me, hanging with me, and watching today's programming. Definitely makes me feel great and makes me feel like all the hard work is definitely all worth it. So thank you for watching today's program. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And as always, don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.